The Rescuers Down Under is a 1990 American animated adventure film produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation and released by Walt Disney Pictures on November 16, 1990. Set in the Australian Outback, the film features the voices of Bob Newhart, Eva Gabor in her final film role, and John Candy. The film centers on Bernard and Bianca traveling to Australia to save a boy named Cody from a bloodthirsty hunter in pursuit of an endangered bird of prey. The 29th film in the Walt Disney Animated Classics, the film is the sequel to the 1977 animated film The Rescuers, which was based on the novels of Margery Sharp. This film was the second released during the Disney Renaissance era, which had begun the year prior with The Little Mermaid. The Rescuers Down Under was the first animated theatrical film sequel produced by Disney. Along with Fantasia 2000 and Winnie the Pooh, it is one of the few sequels that are part of the Disney Animated Features canon. Plot: in the Australian Outback, a young boy named Cody rescues and befriends a rare golden eagle called Margery, who shows him her nest and eggs. Later on, the boy falls in an animal trap set by Percival C. McLeish, a local poacher wanted by the Australian Rangers. When McLeish finds one of the eagle's feathers on the boy's backpack, he is instantly overcome with excitement, for he knows that catching an eagle that size would make him rich because he had caught one before, which was Margery's mate. McLeish throws Cody's backpack to a pack of crocodiles in order to trick the Rangers into thinking that Cody was eaten, and kidnaps him in attempt to force him to tell about the whereabouts of Margery. A mouse, the bait in the trap, runs off to alert the Rescue Aid Society. The message is sent to the Rescue Aid Society headquarters in New York, and Bernard and Miss Bianca, the RAS elite field agents, are assigned to the mission, interrupting Bernard's attempt to propose marriage to Bianca. They go to find Orville the albatross who aided them previously, but instead find his brother Wilbur. Bernard and Bianca convince Wilbur to fly them to Australia to save Cody. In Australia, they meet Jake, a hopping mouse who is the RAS local regional operative. Jake becomes infatuated with Bianca and starts flirting with her, much to Bernard's annoyance. He serves as their tour guide and protector in search of the boy. At the same time, Wilbur is immobilized when his spinal column is bent out of its natural shape, convincing Jake to send him to the hospital. As Wilbur refuses to undergo surgery and flees, his back is unintentionally straightened by the efforts of the mouse medical staff to prevent him escaping through a window. Cured, Wilbur departs in search of his friends. At McLeish's ranch, Cody has been thrown into a cage with several of McLeish's captured animals after refusing to give up Margery's whereabouts. Cody tries to free himself and the animals, but is thwarted by Joanna, McLeish's pet goanna. Realizing that Margery's eggs are Cody's weak spot, McLeish tricks Cody into thinking that someone else has shot Margery, making Cody lead him to Margery's nest. Bernard, Bianca, and Jake, knowing that Cody is in great danger, jump onto McLeish's half-track to follow him. At Margery's nest, the three mice try to warn Cody that he has been followed. Just as they do, McLeish arrives and captures Margery, along with Cody, Jake, and Bianca. On McLeish's orders, Joanna tries to eat Margery's eggs, but discovers that they are just egg-shaped stones. Frightened that McLeish might be angry with her, Joanna drops the stones into the water. When she leaves, Bernard crawls out of the nest with the hidden eggs, grateful that Joanna fell for the trick. Wilbur arrives at the nest, whereupon Bernard convinces him to sit on the eagle's eggs, so that Bernard can go after McLeish. McLeish takes Cody and Margery to Crocodile Falls, where he ties Cody up and hangs him over a group of crocodiles and attempts to feed him to them. But Bernard, riding a wild razorback pig, which he had tamed using a horse whispering technique used by Jake on a snake earlier, follows and disables McLeish's vehicle. McLeish then tries to shoot the rope holding Cody above the water. To save Cody, Bernard tricks Joanna into crashing into McLeish, sending both of them into the water. The crocodiles then turn their attention from Cody to McLeish and Joanna, while behind them the damaged rope holding Cody breaks apart. McLeish fights and fends off the crocodiles, but while Joanna reaches the shoreline, McLeish is swept over the waterfall. Bernard dives into the water to save Cody, but fails. His actions, however, by Jake and Bianca enough time to free Margery for her to save both Cody and Bernard. Bernard, desperate to prevent any further incidents, proposes to Bianca, who eagerly and happily accepts while Jake salutes him with a newfound respect. All of them depart for Cody's home. Elsewhere, Margery's eggs finally hatch, much to Wilbur's dismay. Cast: The Rescuers Down Under features 3 characters from the first film, Bernard, Bianca, and the Chairmas, all of whom feature the same actors reprising their roles. Bob Newhart as Bernard, a male grey mouse. The United States representative of the Rescue Aid Society, promoted from his role as janitor in the first film to full-fledged agent in the second. Mark Henn served as the supervising animator for Bernard. Eva Gabor as Miss Bianca, a female white mouse. The Hungarian representative of the Rescue Aid Society. Mark Henn served as the supervising animator for Bianca. John Candy as Wilbur, a comical albatross. Named after Wilbur Wright. He is the brother of Orville, the albatross who appeared in the first film. Nick Raniere served as the supervising animator for Wilbur. Adam Ryan as Cody, a young boy able to converse with most animals, like Penny in the first film. Russ Edmonds served as the supervising animator for Cody. George C. Scott as Percival C. McLeish, a sinister poacher who attempts to capture Margery for money. Duncan Marjoribanks served as the supervising animator for McLeish. Frank Welker as Margery, a giant golden eagle. Welker also played Joanna, a goanna and McLeish's pet who acts to terrify her captives. Glenn Keane served as the supervising animator for Margery. Tristan Rogers as Jake, a debonair, friendly and charismatic kangaroo mouse. Ruben Aquino served as the supervising animator for Jake. Peter Firth as Red, a male red kangaroo captured by McLeish. Wayne Robson as Frank, an erratic frill-necked lizard captured by McLeish. Kathy Zielinski served as the supervising animator for Frank. Douglas Seal as Cribs, a koala captured by McLeish. Polly, a platypus captured by McLeish. Carla Mayer as Falou, a female red kangaroo who summons Cody to save Margery. Mayer also voices Cody's mother. Bernard Fox as Chairmas, the chairman of the Rescue Aid Society. Fox also voices Dr. Mouse, the supervisor of the surgical mice who examine Wilbur when he is injured. Russi Taylor as Nurse Mouse, the operator of Dr. Mouse's instructions and a competent second-in-command. Nelson, an echidna. Production: The Rescuers Down Under is notable for Disney as its first traditionally animated film to completely use the new computerized CAPS process. CAPS was a computer-based production system used for digital ink and paint and compositing, allowing for more efficient and sophisticated post-production of the Disney animated films and making the traditional practice of hand-painting cells obsolete. The animators' drawings and the background paintings were scanned into computer systems instead, where the animation drawings are inked and painted by digital artists, and later combined with the scan backgrounds in software that allows for camera positioning, camera movements, multiplane effects, and other techniques. A film also uses CGI elements throughout such as the field of flowers in the opening sequence, McLeish's truck, and perspective shots of Wilbur flying above Sydney Opera House and New York City. The CAPS project was the first of Disney's collaborations with computer graphics company Pixar, which would eventually become a feature animation production studio making computer-generated animated films for Disney before being bought outright in 2006. As a result, The Rescuers Down Under was the first animated film for which the entire final film elements were assembled and completed within a digital environment. However, the film's marketing approach did not call attention to the use of the CAPS process. It is Disney's second animated film that does not include any musical numbers, the first being The Black Cauldron. A team of over 415 artists and technicians were required for the production of the film. 5 members of the team traveled to the Australian Outback to observe, take photographs and draw sketches to properly illustrate the Outback on film. Release, box office. With the new Mickey Mouse featurette The Prince and the Pauper as an added attraction, The Rescuers Down Under debuted to an opening weekend gross of $3.5 million, fourth in its opening weekend after Home Alone, Rocky V, and Child's Play 2. And below the studio's expectations. As a result, then Walt Disney Studios chief Jeffrey Katzenberg decided to pull all of the Rescuers TV advertising. The film eventually went on to make $27,931,461 in the United States, making it the least successful box office performance of Disney's Renaissance era. Critical reception: a film received a mostly positive response. On Rotten Tomatoes, based on 25 reviews collected, the film has an overall approval rating of 68% fresh, with a weighted average score of 6.2/10. The consensus states, though its story is second-rate, The Rescuers Down Under redeems itself with some remarkable production values, particularly its flight scenes. The staff of Halliwell's Film Guide gave it 2 stars out of 4. This slick, lively and enjoyable animated feature, they wrote, is an improvement on the original. Roger Ebert awarded the film 3 out of 4 stars and wrote, "Animation can give us the glory of sights and experiences that are impossible in the real world, and one of those sights, in The Rescuers Down Under, is of a little boy clinging to the back of a soaring eagle." The flight sequence and many of the other action scenes in this new Disney animated feature create an exhilaration and freedom that are liberating. And the rest of the story is fun too. TV Guide gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, saying, 3 years in the making, it was obviously conceived during the height of this country's fascination with Australia, brought on by Paul Hogan's fabulously successful Crocodile Dundee. By 1990, the mania had long since subsided, and this film's Australian setting did nothing to enhance its box office appeal. Further, the film doesn't make particularly imaginative use of the location. Take away the accents and the obligatory kangaroos and koalas, and the story could have taken place anywhere. Another problem is that the rescuers themselves don't even enter the action until a third of the film has passed. And when they do appear, they don't have much to do with the main plot until near the film's end. The characters seem grafted onto a story that probably would have been more successful without them. Finally, the film suffers from some action and plotting that is questionable in a children's film. The villain is far too malignant, the young vigilante hero seems to be a kiddie Rambo, and some of the action is quite violent, if not tasteless. Josh Spiegel echoes that point and expands on it further, explaining, "The Rescuers Down Under tanked with barely $3.5 million in its opening weekend take. Katzenberg removed all television advertisements for the film. By itself, that a Euro unregistered trademark is not the worst possible fate, but it proves that he had zero confidence in its ability to perform at a seemingly ideal time of year. Here a Euro unregistered trademark is the thing, the more demoralizing fact is a Euro unregistered trademark T that Katzenberg yanked the marketing. Eat a Euro unregistered trademark S that Disney set The Rescuers Down Under up to fail, opening it on the same weekend as a little film called Home Alone, otherwise known as the highest-grossing film of 1990. He may not have been able to predict its long-lasting impact on popular culture, but Katzenberg likely had enough tracking information to tip him off that Home Alone would be a monster laying waste to everything in its path. The Rescuers Down Under was forced to take the hit, then and afterwards. Conversely, Ellen Mackay of Common Sense Media gave the film 4 out of 5 stars, writing, "A rare sequel that improves on the original." Home Media: The Rescuers Down Under was released in the Walt Disney Classics video series on September 20, 1991, while The Rescuers was released on VHS a year later in September 1992. It was re-released on VHS and DVD on August 1, 2000 as part of the Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection. The Rescuers Down Under was released alongside The Rescuers on Blu-ray in a 2-movie collection on August 21, 2012 to commemorate the first film's 35th anniversary. Soundtrack: the score for the film was composed and conducted by Bruce Broughton. Unlike the vast majority of Disney animated features, there were no songs written for it. AllMusic gave the soundtrack a 4.5 out of 5-star rating. Main title: Answering Falu's Call, Cody's Flight, Message Montage. At the restaurant, Wilbur takes off, MacLeod threatens Cody, the landing, Bernard almost proposes, escape attempt, Frank's out. Cody finds the eggs, Bernard the Hero, end credits. In 2006 Walt Disney Records reissued the album on compact disc, including the Shelby Flint songs The Journey, Someone's Waiting for You, and Tomorrow is Another Day. References. External links. Official website, The Rescuers Down Under at All Movie, The Rescuers Down Under at the Big Cartoon Database, The Rescuers Down Under at the Internet Movie Database, The Rescuers Down Under at the TCM Movie Database, The Rescuers Down Under at Rotten Tomatoes.